Alex G.
What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Alex G back again with another video. To my left I have Malika.
Yes,
Mal. And today we wanted to do another topic video for you guys. We just shot another one, so if you want to go hit my channel, go look at that one, you can look at that one as well. This one we're going to be discussing a huge topic that's obviously been all over social media, is the whole Birkin bag situation. It's weird, to say the least, but I wanted to give kind of a male's perspective on it, and obviously we have a woman here who could kind of give her perspective on it as well. But I kind of wanted to discuss it because it seems to be such a debatable topic, and I have no idea why. But I wanted to just go off the top of my head too with my thoughts on it. So I think first and foremost, Birkins. So obviously the Birkin bag is a bag sold by Hermes. It's very exclusive, and you have to be either invited to purchase one, or you have to spend enough money with Hermes to be invited to purchase one. So either you're
waitlisted, I think.
Yeah, so you're waitlisted as well. So either you have the status off the rip that you're just a famous person and they would like you to purchase one and they'll ask for you to buy one, or you spent so much money, and by so much money I mean tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars on their clothes to be able to get invited to purchase one. So very exclusive bag, and that's kind of why it's expensive, but also at the same time they don't let anybody know how many they produce or all that good stuff. So it's just very secretive and exclusive sort of bag. So it's definitely a status symbol, and that's why people seek them, and they're very expensive. So I think my whole opinion on it really just comes down to something very simple. I think that things that involve rich or wealthy people have nothing to do with what I would call regular people. I think people should not have opinions necessarily on the Birkin bag in general when it's people that are millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires that are buying these bags. It doesn't apply to people that work hourly jobs, like hourly wage jobs, and that's no offense to anybody, but because even in me, like, I don't make enough money to buy that, so what people do with them buying the bag has nothing to do with me.
I mean, if we brought the bag, our whole savings would be gone.
Yeah, so I can't afford it, and that's where the whole idea of acting your wage comes in, where you should act your wage, and things that apply to you, and things that don't. Like, people got all up in arms about the Biden tax plan of 63% when you guys don't make that much money. So I didn't understand the outrage there. You're not even in that tax bracket, not even remotely close. Yeah. So it doesn't apply to you. And I feel like this Birkin bag discussion is the same thing, but we have to get into it. So I think that we see a lot of very wealthy women saying things like make him get you a Birkin, like this, like that whole thing, which is cool. But I think the most important thing to think about is the women that you see saying this are way more than established in society in terms of their career, the actual money that they have. Specifically, you want to talk about Cardi B, she has more money than Offset, right? So she can afford her own Birkins. Sweetie can afford her own Birkins. The City Girls, I would assume, can afford their own Birkins. I'm not really familiar with
I feel like their money has to be long.
Yeah, they sell a lot of records, but I don't have a gauge in my head in terms of how much they have, but they can definitely buy their own Birkins. So I think the most important thing here is that if you can't afford the bag, then you shouldn't be asking somebody to buy you the bag. You should not be discussing the bag. The bag don't concern you. You're not going to get the bag. So that's really where the discussion should start and end.
So, I mean, it's just crazy because so many people, like I see so many people on Twitter, like they're, like how you pick your name, like not your at name, but like your, what's the handle name?
Yeah, full name.
It was like Birkin bag, and I'm like, you're not getting a Birkin, ever, probably. I don't want to say ever, because I don't want to put that out there and say like, yeah, if that's your dream one day, then yeah. But people, it's just that the Birkin bag like culture, and just money culture in general is just brainwashing a lot of, especially like I hate to like come at my own woman, but I think it's brainwashing the men too, because it's giving a lot of pressure to the men. But these women just think it's so attainable. And I don't want to shoot at the dreams and say it's not, but it's like their worth and stuff on people is just monetary.
Yeah, and I think that those
bags are ugly too. Not that, like, I swear, I'm not just saying that, but like I'm a small bag person. Like I don't even like big bags, so it's like The bag's ugly. Like if me and Alex were rich and he would give me Birkin, I swear to God, I would sell it. Like I would probably just keep it maybe to resell it one day, but I would not wear it once.
I disagree. I don't think they're ugly. I wouldn't use those words.
They're not ugly, but they're not my taste.
Nonetheless, those people that can afford these things, we're talking about the 1%, like even, like 0.5% of people in terms of the wealth in the country that you're talking about here. And just because you see them on social media and they're black or whatever, that doesn't take away from the fact that their money puts them in a different ballpark completely from us down here.
There's only a handful of people see it. I feel like social media makes it seem like
everybody has it,
but
that's not the case.
Think about it. It's probably like this world has 7 point what billion?
I don't know.
I would say 7 billion people. Billion is a lot. This country alone has like 400 million people. You're looking at these celebrities, probably 20, 30 people that you're seeing with these bags. That's not even 0.1%, like you're saying. That's a very small percentage. I don't think people realize that because social media makes us feel like we're connected to these people and that we're on arm's length. But these people are way above our reach.
They sit in meetings
way above our reach.
Like if you've never sat in a meeting discussing millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars for a deal, then you wouldn't understand that. I haven't, so I don't understand. The money's not even
comprehensible because we can't even comprehend having that money. You know?
So and if they're comfortable spending that much money on a handbag, then you know how much money they actually really have.
Yeah.
And you see the
not
houses.
All of them, I'm talking about like YouTubers like who got the Birkin bag.
I don't even count those people. But
that's their whole their monthly check for the bag. But
yeah,
the celebrities, yeah, for sure.
So in terms of like comparisons, you can't compare yourself. That's a regular person. To be like Birkin me and all that other stuff, like it's not gonna happen. And I think that
like you're not even getting Dior, so what makes you think you're gonna get Birkin?
Yeah, you can't just even that part too. You can't you get you a coach.
Yeah, start humbly. Get you
your Michael Kors.
Okay, those first. Then
go get.
Then get a Louis Dior Prada.
You're not about to just jump to a $20,000 bag.
Yeah. Just to say you got one.
I think it's stupid. I think what pains me too is that you see a lot of black women that are sort of leading this discussion about the Birkins and stuff like that. When at the end of the day, and not even to really bring Reese into it, but at the same time,
I think you have to bring it into it though, and it's not even our fault that we're the way that we are because this is generation of our conditioning. But we should be intelligent enough to overcome it now. Like we can't make excuses no more.
Yeah, where we're making like the rich and white wealthy CEOs of Hermes and all this other stuff. They're just sitting there laughing.
Yeah, they're sitting there laughing. Look at these little, I don't want to curse. Look at these little ends going crazy with the bags.
Like, yeah, and they don't even care about you.
They're cashing out.
They profile you when you walk in the store, but we're still, inclined to go run and spend all our money.
We always do that, even in music.
Yeah.
We always give free promo. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, so I think that part too, like we need to stop hyping up. I think in general, and I'm a fashion head, like, so I think in general, my perspective on fashion as a whole, I think we need to stop hyping up branding, not necessarily the brands themselves, like, not like this right here, right? Just give an example. This is a Helmut Lang shirt, right? It doesn't say Helmut Lang anywhere. You wouldn't know, like, it's not to broadcast that this is a Helmut Lang shirt. But I think we need to. So this is a brand thing, right? But branding is a little bit different. That's where you see logos slapped everywhere. Like people want you to know, oh, this is Louis. This is
like people will buy something that's like not even like nice, but they just want you to know that it's the brand.
Yeah, like if you go out and get a Gucci shirt that says Gucci on it.
But someone might have a Gucci sweater that you might not even know is a Gucci sweater. But that's because they actually love the fashion.
They actually have money.
The brand, yeah.
When you have this stuff,
the people who love the puff plaster don't have money. That's the cheapest stuff. That's like the low level stuff you can get.
Cheapest stuff at Gucci. So,
and I'm not even me judging too. Cause I do it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't do it. Like, and, like I'll do. I got Raph Simon, Rick Owens. Like, I'll try to get. I'll use the lyrics that like ASAP Rocky. He's like I feel like he's like one of the biggest fans of Rick Owens and Raph Simmons. So I do it sometimes too. Like. If I have something that says like RS, like the RS patch tribute that you gave me, like I like make sure people know it's Raph Simmons. But like I do generally like design too though, and like there's plenty of like designer plastic stuff I could have been had, but that's just not me. So. Yeah,
so I think branding itself, we got to kind of get rid of where it's like, oh, I got Dior, I got this, I got that, I got this. It's like a lot of the time that stuff doesn't even look good. It's super tacky, like the Balenciaga all over the hoodie. Like I feel like it's super ugly to me. That's a personal preference.
I actually like that one.
I know you like it, but
I'm saying that one for some reason I liked it. I don't know why. I think it's just the way Balenciaga, the font.
I personally
But I
hate
get
it.
it. It is corny though.
I personally hate it. Like if you got like the Gucci shoes that say Gucci on the side, like all that stuff is super ugly to me and it's tacky. So I think in general, branding with that whole give me a Birkin just for the fact that it's a Birkin, or give me a Gucci shirt just for the fact that it's Gucci. I think that stuff's super corny. So I think that's kind of my perspective. I talked a lot. Like, do you have anything?
Well, you know me, I kind of feel the same with like most of it, but it's just like, yeah, going back to what you were saying before about like, it's the black community in specific. I feel like we do need to do a better job. And I hate to bring up this because I know like people make jokes on Twitter. They're called like the Rock Nation brunch Twitter. But like people were saying stuff about like how the money you spent on a bag could go toward land. And I know like not everybody wants land. Like I don't think everybody wants land. I just feel like us as black people, for the people who, you know, the celebrities, they have their own money. So like I can't even talk about them. But I'm talking about the people who like barely make ends meet and like will spend their whole check on like a Birkin. Like if they had the money, I could bet you like, I hate to say this about my own people, but if $100,000 was dropped on a whole bunch of people, I can guarantee you a handful of those people would spend $20,000 of that on like the most cheapest like Birkin, you know? And it's like, me personally, I'm paying my student loans off, but like it's just sad because like a lot of, you know, us as a people, we're so quick to spend money to impress and, you know, and I get it because we've been like suppressed so long, you know, we've been like oppressed, I guess that's the word, oppressed so long, and we're just happy to be finally, like, we feel like we made it. Cause that's the thing, like black people, they feel like we made it, you know, they buy a designer because they feel like we made it. But I feel like now we're at a point now that like we're just gonna keep falling behind white people. Like why are we bragging about brands? White people are opening businesses and like becoming even richer. They're making that margin even wider. Cause yeah, we're catching up to them, but they're still surpassing us much higher because they, you know, Jeff Bezos, for example, look at these big people who own these big companies and like, with this money that we're doing to try to flex on each other, we could be paying off our debt at least. That's step number one, pay off your debts, and then every money you make is actually yours going forward. So it's like, I just feel like you said, like act our ways. Like it's not our conversation. We shouldn't even be worrying about that. Like until we're making enough money, we're at 20,000, 50,000, even 100,000 on these bags. It's like $1 to us. Then we shouldn't even be talking about that. Cause right now, like that money to them is nothing. To us, that's everything. Like the money that they spent on those bags, that's my whole student loans. Like. And look at the difference in lifestyle. Like that could change my life. My student loans being gone.
It won't change their life.
It won't change their life. That money that they spent on the bag is nothing. They're gonna make that tomorrow.
They get that for an appearance.
Yeah, Nicki was getting. What she said, $50K for a verse. She was getting $50K for a verse before her album moved out. Imagine how much she's getting paid for a verse now.
That was 10 years ago. She
probably could charge $1 million for a verse.
Minimum now. Maybe $750,000. Yeah. I think Nicki would get for. I said minimum. If you guys can
minimum,
hear.
Yeah. If it's like a high profile song.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So that money was nothing.
That $100,000, like I said, Nicki was making that $50K for that she spent for the bag. Like, you know, that some of the bags are in one verse. Most people are making that in a year, not even after tax, probably not even.
Yeah, so
it's like.
Yeah, basically, I guess to summarize, like if you're making $20K, don't talk about a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
That's your whole year salary.
$100,000 bag. I think those things are attainable at the same time, though. So I'm not here to discourage anybody from saying they can't get it. So make sure you guys go out, work, start a business.
That's the thing I have an issue with, the people who talk about it online, but they're not doing nothing. Every year they're just sitting there like tweeting or just on Instagram. Like, what's the plan? You're not doing nothing. You're not making any moves. Like I respect the people who are making moves. Like I see people opening businesses and are consistent with it. Okay, good for you. People who have their YouTube channels are consistent with it. But a lot of people just talk and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't see you making any progress, even in your own real life. Like, have a backup plan. Like, you know, you work on your music, we work on YouTube, but we also have our careers. Like, we have really like good careers, and we're just doing stuff to make sure our life is still comfortable. But at the same time, we're still working on our hobbies. There's people who are not even doing the basics. We're just getting their degrees and just getting a good job. Like, they're just sitting around, just thinking that luck and just magic, and then they're just gonna be famous and rich. Like, it doesn't work like that. All these rich people, some of them probably got lucky, but for the most part, it's hard work and years of dedication that people are not willing to do, but they want a Birkin bag. Like, these people deserve Birkin bags. They've been working for years in the studios all night, like no sleep.
Yeah. So to finish what I was saying, I pray and hope everybody gets has the ability to purchase one of those. Yeah. I don't want one. I don't want to purchase one, but I hope I'm in a position where I could purchase one. And until you get there, I feel like that conversation really doesn't apply to you. Like
we can have like our opinion, like how we're talking now.
Yeah.
But it's the people who are like actively in the conversations, like they're in the mix.
Like if that's something that you want, then I feel like that's a problem. Like you shouldn't. I think if material is your goal, then you have the wrong goal. Like you shouldn't want to be rich so you can buy a bag. Like I feel like that's kind of weird.
Yeah. That's just a bonus. Like it's just a bonus.
Yeah, that should be like an additional thing. That shouldn't be like the focus. Like getting a bag that means nothing. Like, and
the crazy part too, I think like I feel like a lot of people, even some of these celebrities now, who you see Birkins randomly this year exploded again, are just buying it just to say they have it. It's like I respect the people who like. There's a lot of these rich wives or these people that we never hear about because they're not famous who've been collecting these bags for years now, way before it was even a trend. Like who and like they genuinely love the bag. Like I respect those people. I don't respect people who are buying it just for the status because that's whack. Like there's other ways. Like you've already proven that you're rich. We get it. You're rich. So it's like. I feel like it's whack in some ways. Like, I know a lot of people I feel like are only getting it for the status. And it's like, and it's just dumb. Like, there's so much like other stuff you could do. But like I said, for these rich people, that's nothing.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean nothing to them. So I'm not judging them. I'm just talking about some people who like aspire to that when it's like, it's a bag. Like, there's so much stuff that's like, if you're trying to flex, a house is a flex. Like,
that's why like 2 Chainz.
Like, being debt free is a flex. Like.
I like 2 Chainz because what he'll post, obviously we know 2 Chainz, he spends it. But what he'll post every so often is all of the, he'll post his mail that has information regarding all his different properties that he owns. And it's a stack. Like, and I do hate to be a part of that whole Rock Nation, you know, buy property, buy land. Like there's no point in buying land for no reason. Like you get no money from owning nothing, from owning something that doesn't generate revenue, and land doesn't unless you're renting it. But he'll post his properties and his houses and stuff that he owns. And that's way more of a flex. From people that like to flex, that's way harder because
that stuff's appreciating. It's gaining value every day.
And you own it. Like,
you own it,
who would not want to have a house in Florida and then have a house in Cali and have a house over here, have a house over here?
Yeah.
That's
and
way
you make
more.
so much more money on the back end.
That's way more impressive than a bag. Like, I could go to Target and get a bag. It's going to hold the same stuff that the Birkin holds. So...
at the end of the day, I feel like these celebrities, they do all this, but at the end of the day, it's a bag. It's like, sitting there, and it's like, it's just a bag. And not even celebrities, like I said, that money is not to them, but people who kind of like just make enemies. Like some of these YouTubers, I feel like, who got bags. Like, I know offense, like Clarence, I know like he got a bag for Queen, and like, I'm sure he has like millions, but it's like, you know, for you, that money's kind of more of a, you know, you make that like a month. 20. He said on his last video, he made like 20,000 a month. So for you, that's like kind of more of like a hit compared to some of these people. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, you did that for like, you know, social media and for like the world, but none of that bag is just sitting there. And now you're just looking at that bag like, wow, this bag it's just a bag.
Yeah. Like,
it doesn't really mean anything. It's just dumb.
Yeah. And to transition to the next point.
I mean, it's still an investment though.
It is an investment because that's an important point to bring up too.
If you want to give that to your kids and they could do whatever they want with that.
Because Offset was actually talking about this in one video where, you know, watches are a huge investment as well.
Yeah. Not the bust downs, but.
Yeah, not the bust downs. Don't ruin, if anybody rich is watching this, and I highly doubt it, don't bust down your watches. It devalues it.
Yeah. It actually does. And that's the funny part. That people act like it's more. Like when Cardi said that line, like, she's a bust down. Oh no, I'm a bust down. She's a plain Jane. Some of them like, she was. I mean, you saying she worth more than you? The plain Jane worth more.
Yeah. So I think that. What was I saying?
It's about investments. Like
the investments. Yeah, watches are an investment because if people don't really understand watches and why they're so expensive. It's because the mechanics and the inner workings of the watch itself are extremely intricate.
Especially like Richard Mille's.
Yeah, Richard Mille's, all that stuff. The skeletons, they're very very intricate watches, and that's why they cost so much money. And when you buy one, they're very limited. That's kind of the point. Like, they don't make a million Richard Mille's. Like, they're very limited. Like, they might make, per watch design, they may make 20 of them in the entire world. So you're talking about people that are multi-billionaires, multi-hundred millionaires that might want that same watch, but there's only 20 that exist. And that's why, like Offset was talking about it, and he was saying how he would wear one and then go in these rooms with these people in these meetings, and they were like, "Where'd you get that? Like, what do you know about that watch?" And that's because they're investment pieces. You can make a lot of money off that. Same with art, and same with these bags too.
Yeah.
So they can definitely make money off of it, but
it's just like you could tell for a lot of people that's not even there.
That's not their intention.
Like, that's not even in their range of thought. They just want the bag to take the picture, or just to show the instant. Hey, look, I got the bag. Like, I'm a part of the hype, which is so corny. Why you want to do what else I'm doing now? Because now it's corny.
Now
it's getting corny.
Now the Birkin's
and I hate that because, you know, the conversation with like, oh, when black people start doing stuff, people think it's devalued or corny. And I feel like it's not even a black people thing, it's a pop culture thing. Cause we run pop culture, and it's just unfortunate we do, but it's like...
Yeah, it's like that with like anything. Like the
trips, they were saying that. people ruin Tulum, could ever been Tulum. I'm like, I don't think anything's ruined, but it's just that you could tell people are doing it just for their impression. Where it's like, do it because you want to. Go to Tulum because you want to go to Tulum. Go to Bali because you want to go to Bali. Like, buy a Birkin because you want to buy a Birkin. Like, people do too much for other people's, like, for validation and, like, to prove something. And this is dumb.
Yeah. But I wanted to get into one of the more important points, actually. I think I might have said it already, but I don't remember, so I'm going to say it again. I did say it, actually. Well, I wanted to just reiterate, like, the people talking about these, the women that are talking about these bags, they can pay for them on their own.
Yeah,
we are not buying anything except for loser men. We're not buying anything for women that they can't afford for themselves. If you can't afford to take this vacation, then you can't come on the vacation. And that doesn't mean that I'm making that person pay for the vacation. But if you're not in my range of what I'm trying to do, in my monetary range, like if you're not, if I feel like I'm a boss and I feel like you're not a boss, then you don't get to come on this trip. You don't get to have me buy you that car. You don't get to have me buy you that bag. I feel like a lot of these girls are having some sort of entitlement. Like, I know there's girls out there who are hustlers too. So when they say these things like they want men to pay the bills, I respect a woman who says that and actually it's just a hustler herself. You know, I respect that more than someone who wants a man to pay their bills and don't do nothing. Like, you just want to be a bum all day. Like, that's weird. You don't want your own money. Like, you don't want your own. And like, why would you never be on your man's level? Like, that's at least close. I think I hate to say women, but we usually see this with women more. I think it's weird when people want to be on an allowance where like they kind of want to be. It's almost like weird. Like
it's weird too. I actually saw that too. They was like showing like the cost of living or something, and someone did a weird breakdown. Oh my god, I wish I screenshot it. And it was something weird, like a perfect like. Cause they was talking. Oh yeah, I think it was that $400,000 conversation. They were saying that $400,000 could diminish quickly. They said because they were saying that it's all like on a situational basis, and they were saying somebody who makes $400,000 still at the end of the month might only have like $500 in their pocket, and they broke it down by mortgage stuff and like mortgage, car payment stuff, daycare. They were saying all this, and one of the line items was wife spending money. I'm like, why is that even being deducted from a cost of living from a man? Like they were saying, they were showing a man's salary, and they were saying wife spending money. Huh?
Yeah.
Like I just think it's dumb. Like I don't like.
I don't really
that's a whole nother video to talk about that.
Really
I already did a men paid the bills video on my channel. If you guys want to go see that, but
yeah, I don't know.
I'm really passionate about that conversation.
I don't know about that part of it, but
it's not 1955 anymore. Like it's 2020. Like I'm not even gonna get into it, but
yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? Why a guy gotta put that in his budget? Wife spending money. Like if she don't use her own money, if you're paying all the bills, then isn't her money for the spending money? If the man's paying the rent and the mortgage, whatever, and the daycare money, why you also gotta give her spending money? Her own, the money that she making from her job should be her spending money. If you're paying all the bills, I just don't get it.
Yeah. So to go back into my point, if you can't afford it, then yeah, you shouldn't be having that conversation. Like, if you're making whatever you're making, and I want to throw out numbers because I don't want to be offensive to people.
Honestly, I think under 6 figures, people shouldn't even be having talks about like anything luxury. No offense. But anything luxury, I feel like if you're making less than 6 figures, you shouldn't really even be in any of the talks because I mean you can still afford it, you know.
Yeah. So I think that if you can't, I just wouldn't feel comfortable. Like the way I feel with gift giving, I feel like I'm more comfortable receiving gifts because I know that if I wanted to, I could go out and get it myself. But if somebody bought me something, and I've never had this before, but if somebody did buy me something that was out of my range that I couldn't afford, I wouldn't personally feel comfortable because it's like, wow, like I couldn't even get this on my own. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
So when people give me gifts, it's more so they're buying it for me. It's more so I just haven't happened to have purchased it yet.
I feel like if I wanted to, too, right? You know, they'll give you stuff that they could have easily went out.
Yeah, like Cardi could have easily went out and bought any Birkin she wanted.
That's why you date people who are in your range.
Yeah, that's why.
Paid range.
If you can't, like, basically, if I was in a situation, if I was a multimillionaire, and I'm not gonna use you because I just don't want to use you as an example. But if I was dating somebody and I was a multimillionaire and they had no job and I bought them a Birkin bag and then they bought me
like
some sneakers
like Nike,
or
slides
some Nike slides or
or like even Yeezys for millionaires, nothing.
Yeezys, or she got me, a sweater or something.
Yeah.
I would feel some type of way because it's like that's where those weird dynamics come in, where it's like they couldn't afford to buy you something, but you're sitting there cashing out.
Even though sometimes like you say you would feel away, but at the same time it would be like it's still sentimental. So like you wouldn't.
I'm not a sentimental person with gifts, so
monetary.
I'm not. No, anything with gifts.
No, but I'm saying like, can you saying that like you would feel type of way, but it's like it's still thoughts there.
Yeah, but
you mean you would feel more type of way just because you feel like you'd rather date somebody who's making decent money.
Yeah, let me correct.
Or making the money that you're making.
Let me correct it. I think it makes it not that I would feel some type of way, but I think it makes the dynamics weird when you have, like, I honestly wonder how it works with some of these relationships where you have like the girl that's just like, and I hate to say just like, but you have girls that are IG models, and I hate that phrase, but you have IG models that are dating these rappers, and the IG models sometimes, even though they have all those followers, don't really have money because you don't get paid off of Instagram. You get paid off of companies wanting you to advertise, but if you don't have those even, and all you have is followers, and you're dating these rappers, like, you see these situations where these women buy their significant other all these very expensive cars when you know a lot of the money came from him, so it's like basically he bought himself the car.
As people say about Nicki too, and her husband.
Yeah, like if he's gifting,
we don't know what he does. Like, yeah, where's he getting his money from?
Yeah, so if he's gifting her an expensive car, we know the money came from her. So that's why I mean, like, the dynamics become weird, and I just wouldn't want that personally. So I think with the Birkin, date your wage. Yeah. But yeah, that's where I think the Birkin thing comes in, because like, if you can afford it, then awesome. I have no problem with Sweetie saying he got to get you a Birkin. I have no problem with that because she could go ahead and buy herself one. But if she was, living in a 100 square foot apartment in the middle of the hood, saying that, then I have a problem.
That's the type of girls that be on Twitter, like they'll see Sweetie like, yes, Sweetie, yes. Girl,
yeah, and if your mattress is on the floor,
like go get a job.
If your mattress is on the floor, then you shouldn't really be having that conversation. And that's no disrespect to anybody, but it's just kind of like, somebody has to say.
They're disrespecting men by doing that. So it's like, be humble.
I have another point here that now I'm thinking about it. This video was getting too long, but
people like one video though.
But another thing, I think that I would say 99.9% of the time that I see that conversation appear on Twitter, I think that women need to understand that. A lot of women need to understand that the type of men that have that type of money don't want girls that look like you. Like, they don't want women that look like you. Like, no offense, but full offense.
They want the supermodels so they know they can get.
Yeah, the ones that are.
They don't want the one with. No, I was gonna say.
No, stop. You're not fire enough to. You're not fire enough to pull that type of man with that type of money. So. People that are saying Birkin me and you don't look.
No, look at Ronaldo. Like, he dates all supermodels. Everybody, apparently though, his baby mama was kind of some random waitress. But I heard she was cute though. But like, you see, he dated like, what's that girl?
I don't know. Well,
something Shayak.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But he dated like supermodels. A lot of these people date supermodels or other very like, you see look at all the celebrities' wives and stuff.
Yeah, so you're not fire enough to even attract a man to get you to Birkin.
Maybe they'll sleep with you for the night, but they're not buying you Birkin.
So,
or marrying you.
Like Lori Harvey, for example, you see how she looks, right?
So she can get a million Birkins if you want to see her.
Yeah, you don't look like that, so you're not gonna get the Birkin. Nobody's gonna Birkin you if you don't look like that. So you need to. I think women. Those women need to humble themselves. Yeah, some women. It's not all women.
Because some women do be looking popping. They'll say something. Hey, you probably could go get you a Birkin.
Probably would. I've seen women that have gotten money cashed out on them, and
they're just regular everyday people.
They're real regular.
But there's some people looking a little crazy. And
the people you're trying to attract, you just don't. You're not fire enough. You don't look that great, or the body isn't that right. So.
Oh, I said too. Men are attracted to other successful, well-paid women too. I've seen guys say that all the time on Twitter. They'll be like, some of these girls like, I wouldn't even look your eye because you're not even in my range. Like, money wise, like some guys like that though. Some guys it's like a control thing, and it could be an abuse thing. Like, they'll like the girl that don't have nothing, so they have that full total financial control. But another half of guys do want another girl, like a girl in their life, a wife that's on their level, that's a hustler, that's making money. not somebody who's gonna be a leech. You know, then they're more likely to spoil you when they see that you're actually working hard. Like, okay, like she's working hard. I'm gonna get her back. Even though she could go outside tomorrow and go buy it herself, I'm gonna buy it for her because I know she can buy it.
Yeah, and that's fire. I think that makes the best relationship where outside of material, I think in general, when you have a relationship where one person can bring something to the table and the other person can bring something to the table, even if it's not the same exact thing, like if you have one person that's like let's say one person is a lawyer and one person's a doctor. Those are obviously two very esteemed positions, even though they're different.
Yeah.
But when you bring them together, they bring two different perspectives. I think that's
like
fire.
Like anytime you see those couples, they're like those really power couples, like living nice, doing nice things.
And I didn't really want to use that extreme example, but if you have somebody that's like, that's very caring, and then you have somebody that's very, I don't know. like,
so yeah, kind of that's why some women feel like entitled to like just spoiling because they're like women are more so like the cleaners and the cookers and stuff. But that's not a relationship because I feel like you probably clean and cook more than I do. You know, like that's just like those traditional values I feel like are not relevant anymore. Like that those are like those things that we gotta throw out. Like we both bring that to the table. Like you know when we get our place, we'll both clean, both do this and you know stuff like that.
So yeah, so it's more fire when both people can do the same thing. But that's the end. That's all I got really.
Yeah.
I need a bottle of water.
I know it was a long talk.
Long talk, but of course, let us know what you guys think in the comments. We're here for all the negativity.
Yeah, we can talk about this forever. There's too many ins and outs of these type of conversations.
We're here for the discussion, so let us know what you think in the comments, whether you agree, disagree. Any points that you guys have in your perspective, I always love to hear. I love when people challenge my way of thinking. So let me know what you guys think. Also, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Make sure you sub to Mal's channel as well. I'll put it somewhere in this corner. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, I will see you guys later.
It's your boy Alex G.